This ginger ale tastes so good tonight, boss, but my brain is stuck on something really strange.
You look thoughtful, Claire. So what kind of strange thing is riding along with your ginger ale tonight?
I keep getting these ads on my phone that match stuff I only talk about out loud, and it is freaking me out.
Give me an example, because the more specific you are, the easier it is for us to untangle it together.
Yesterday I joked with a friend about taking a trip somewhere cold with big mountains, and a few hours later my feed showed winter travel boots and snowy tours.
So you never searched for boots or icy travel on your phone before those ads appeared?
I really did not search for anything like that, and that is why it feels like my phone is secretly listening to every word I say.
You're definitely not the only one who feels that way, and a lot of people walk in here with the same story in different clothes.
That makes me feel a bit less crazy, but it also makes it sound bigger and scarier at the same time.
It feels big because it touches your sense of safety and privacy, and those are very personal things.
I keep picturing some person in a dark room with headphones, listening to me talk about snacks and secrets, and it makes my skin crawl.
That picture is powerful, but reality is both less dramatic in one way and much more systematic in another way.
So I am wrong about a human with headphones, but I might be right that something weird is happening behind the screen.
You are right that something clever and invasive is happening, but we need to be very precise about what that something actually is.
I guess my real question is simple, and it is this: is my phone actually listening to me to decide which ads to show?
That is the perfect question to pour onto the bar, because once we answer it properly, a lot of other pieces will click into place.
Please break it down slowly, because I want to really understand it and not just repeat some internet slogan.
Let us start with the part that feels like magic, which is the microphone, and then we will follow the long trail of clues your phone leaves everywhere it goes.
So the mic is like the suspect that everyone points at first, because it is the most obvious thing on the phone.
Exactly. The microphone is the loud suspect, but the real story depends on how it is used, when it is used, and what kind of system sits behind it.
I know there are voice assistants and all that, and they pop up when I say certain names, so something must be listening at least a little.
You are right that your phone listens for special wake words with a tiny model that runs on the device, but that is not the same thing as recording every moment of your day.
So it is always kind of half awake, waiting to hear a magic phrase, but not storing all my random gossip.
Most of the time it is just checking for a simple pattern, and only when it thinks it heard that pattern does it send a short clip away for real processing.
That sounds less spooky than constant recording, but it still feels like a crack in the door of my privacy.
That feeling is completely fair, because even short clips can be sensitive, but it is still very different from a system that captures every single word you ever speak.
If constant recording is so heavy, why do people keep saying that whole thing about phones always listening for ads?
Part of it comes from fear, part from real past mistakes by companies, and part from a simple fact that the ads are so sharp they do not feel natural at all.
So if the companies say they are not using the mic for ads, and full-time recording is costly, then how do these ads feel psychic?
That is where the quieter suspects walk in, which are your searches, the sites you visit, the videos you watch, the apps you use, and the places you go.
You mean it is not my spoken words that give me away, but everything else I do without even thinking?
Exactly, every tap and swipe writes a tiny note about you, and those notes are collected and sorted and traded until they form a picture of what you might want next.
I kind of know that in theory, but I did not think it was strong enough to guess something I only joked about.
Let us slow down and follow one simple day in your life through the system, and we will see how strong those clues really are.
Okay, walk me through a day like I am following my own shadow, because I need to see how the pieces connect.
You wake up and check messages, and your phone records which apps you open, which links you tap, and which friends you interact with the most.
That already sounds like a lot of information for a sleepy morning, and I have not even left my bed yet.
Then you open a video app, and you watch a few clips about travel or food or relationships, and the system notes what you watched and how long you stayed.
So even the videos I only half watch while I brush my teeth are feeding this big hungry brain.
Yes, even half attention is attention, and the system counts it as a signal that you might care about that topic at least a little.
Then I grab my bag, leave my apartment, and my phone comes along because it always does.
Now your location joins the story, and your phone
Quietly keeps track of where you spend your time, like your home area, your job, your favorite cafe, and your gym.
So if I keep going past a sports store, it might guess I like sports, even if I never click on a single sports ad.
If you pass the same types of places again and again, and people with similar routes tend to like certain products, the system builds a guess that you might be similar to.
It is like being sorted into a group just because I walk the same streets as them.
These systems do not need to know your inner thoughts line by line when they can cluster you with millions of people who behave in similar ways.
I feel a bit like a puzzle piece in a huge box that someone shakes around to make patterns.
That is a very good way to put it, because the ad engine does not love you as an individual, it loves you as a pattern that helps it predict behavior.
Where does the super creepy part happen though? The part where an ad is so exact that it feels like it crawled out of my brain?
There are a few layers in that feeling, and one important layer is the way your mind remembers certain moments more than others.
You mean I remember the creepy perfect guess but forget all the dumb random ads I scroll past?
Exactly, your brain is biased towards stories, and when an ad ties neatly into something you just talked about, your memory highlights it in neon.
So even if the ad came from normal tracking, my mind rewrites it as proof that the phone cheated and listened to me.
Right, and to make it more intense, you see hundreds of tiny ad impressions each day, so some of them will line up with your recent thoughts just by chance.
That makes sense, but I still cannot shake the feeling that sometimes the match is just too perfect.
Sometimes another person close to you is part of the perfect match without you noticing it.
Like when my friend searches for plane tickets or hiking gear, and then I see related stuff because we share a lot of life.
Exactly, you share networks,
Locations and interests, and the system may see you two as part of the same cluster, so their activity can influence what you see.
That makes the whole thing even more sneaky, because I could blame my phone for something my friend searched.
The system only sees data points and connections, and it does not politely separate your life from everyone around you.
So for the most part, it is not a microphone reading my sentences, but a giant machine doing math on my whole life and the lives of people like me.
That is a good summary, and there is a name some people use for this, which is the idea of an economy built on watching and predicting behavior.
You mean where my time and my clicks become a kind of product that companies can buy and sell?
Yes, in that view your attention and your habits are raw materials, and the finished product is a prediction about what you will do next.
That sounds colder than the headphone villain image, but also much bigger and harder to escape.
It is harder to escape because it is baked into the design of many modern platforms and apps, not just a single bad character in a dark room.
I guess that is what makes me tired, because I feel like I cannot just turn it off with one simple switch.
There is no single off switch for the whole system, but there are many knobs you can turn to reduce how much of your life it can see.
Before we get to the knobs, there is something else I want to ask. What about those stories where companies really did listen to people?
That is an important chapter because there have been situations where short audio clips were stored and even reviewed by humans to improve voice services.
So sometimes people really were listening to us, not for ads, but for training the assistant or fixing mistakes.
Yes, when those stories came out, many people felt betrayed because they assumed their old clips were gone for good, not sitting on servers with human reviewers.
Even if it was meant to make the service smarter, it still feels like someone opened a door without telling me.
That is why many people demanded clearer rules, shorter storage, and better ways to opt out, and some companies started changing their settings under that pressure.
I can see how those stories would make people jump from real problems with old clips to wild ideas about live spying for ads.
Exactly, past mistakes shape present fears, and then the perfect match ads give those fears a stage to perform on.
So I am stuck between two pictures. one where I am overreacting and another where I am underreacting.
You are not overreacting by caring about your privacy, and you are not underreacting by wanting a clear model instead of vague fear.
I like that. A clear model sounds more helpful than random panic.
Let us build a simple model together using 3 pieces: what the phone can do, what companies say they do, and what the data trail actually looks like.
Okay, 3 pieces sounds manageable, so let us go one by one.
First, what the phone can do from a technical point of view: it could record everything, track location all the time, and share all of it with any app that has permission.
So the worst case is within the power of the device, even if it is not happening all the time.
Second, what companies say they do. They like to say they only use data for service improvement and relevant ads, and they deny using the microphone to target ads.
But I guess the details of what counts as service improvement or relevant can be stretched in many ways.
Very much so, and this is why trust alone is not enough, and we also need outside rules and pressure.
That leads to the third piece, which is what the data trail really looks like in daily life.
Yes, and we already walked through how your searches, your location, your friends, and your time all add up to a powerful picture even without live audio spying.
So if I keep this model in mind, I can understand my fear as a reaction to a real system, not just as an irrational story.
Exactly, and once you understand it, you can decide how you want to live with it rather than just feeling haunted by it.
I want to find that middle point where I am not naive but also not living in constant dread.
A very healthy goal, and those where small practical steps can make a big difference for your peace of mind.
Before we talk about steps, I still want to explore one more thing, which is how this whole system changes the way I feel about myself.
That is a deep and important question, because being watched, even by machines, can change how you see your own thoughts and choices.
Sometimes I feel like I am performing in a show I did not agree to, and the audience is just a row of servers.
When people feel watched, even in subtle ways, they often censor themselves or buy things just to make the discomfort go away, and this is part of the danger.
So it is not only about the ads I see, but also about how the whole environment pushes me to move in certain directions.
Exactly, the system wants you to keep scrolling, keep clicking, and keep buying, and it shapes your choices in quiet, steady ways.
That makes me want to pull back, but my life is built around these tools, and I do not really want to throw my phone in the river.
You do not need to throw it away to regain some control. You just need to know where you are saying yes and where you want to say no.
So how do I start saying no in a way that actually matters?
You start with what you can control today, which is your app permissions, your habits, and your understanding of those small switches your phone gives you.
Let us unpack the permissions first, because I tap allow without thinking most of the time.
One simple ritual is to go through your installed apps and ask 2 questions for each. Do I really use this, and does it really need the access it has?
So if a simple game wants my location or my microphone, that is a big red flag.
Yes, if an app asks for access that does not match its purpose, you can say no or remove it altogether.
I like the idea of a digital spring cleaning, where I say no to things that do not earn my trust.
That is a good phrase for it, and you can repeat that cleaning once in a while, just like you clean your room.
What about those switches that turn off tracking for ads? Do they really do anything?
They do not erase your entire trail, but they can reduce how much your data is used for targeted ads across apps and websites, which is still worth doing.
So even if it is not perfect, it is like closing some windows in a house that used to have all the curtains open.
Exactly, and closing some windows is better than leaving everything wide open just because you cannot break up the whole house.
I like that image because it makes small actions feel meaningful instead of pointless.
On top of that, there are browsers and search tools that try to collect less data by design, which can be another layer of protection if you want it.
So I can mix and match tools based on how much effort I am willing to invest in privacy.
Yes, and the key is that you choose your trade-offs instead of letting the default settings choose them for you.
I also wonder about laws and rules, because it feels like something only giant systems can fix.
Rules do matter.
And many places now have stronger laws about what companies can do with your data,
How long they can keep it, and when they need your consent.
Does that really change how they behave, or is it just more text in long policies?
It can change behavior,
Especially when fines or investigations become painful, but it is always a slow process with constant debates.
So I should not wait for perfect laws before I change my own habits.
Exactly. Think of laws as a guardrail on the edge of the road, and your habits as the way you steer your own car.
That makes me feel a bit less helpless because I can at least move my own hands on the wheel.
You're more powerful than you feel, especially when you understand the game well enough to decide how you want to play.
There is something else I am curious about, which is how my feelings about being watched connect with people who do not worry about it at all.
Some people say they do not care because they feel they have nothing to hide. They just want convenient services and fun content.
I hear that a lot, and part of me understands it, but another part of me feels a little sad when I hear it.
It is a bit like saying you do not care about a lock on your door because you think no one wants to steal your old couch.
So even if I am not hiding a treasure, I still deserve a door that closes properly.
Exactly, privacy is not only about secrets, it is also about the right to choose who sees which parts of your life.
I like that. The right to choose feels like the heart of it.
When you choose, you live on purpose, and that is a very different feeling from drifting along under a flood of invisible tracking.
It is strange, because the more we talk about this, the less I feel like a victim and the more I feel like a person waking up.
There's the aim of conversations like this not to make you paranoid, but to make you clear-headed and steady.
So if I had to sum up what I learned tonight, it would be something like this. My phone can listen, but most of the time the scary feeling comes from a huge invisible system that watches everything else I do.
That is a strong summary, and I would add that a lot of the magic feeling comes from how your own mind connects dots and remembers the spookiest moments.
Plus, there have been real problems with recorded clips and vague rules, which add smoke to the fire.
Yes, and that is why people push for better rules and more honest choices, and that push has already changed some things and will keep changing more.
I feel more grounded now, like I can look at my phone and say, I know what you are, even if I do not love everything you do.
That kind of grounded awareness is one of the best protections you can have in a world full of clever systems.
Thank you for walking through this with me, boss. I came in here with a tangle of fear and I am leaving with a map.
You did the hard work by asking honest questions and staying with the answers even when they were complicated.
I think I will actually sleep better tonight, even if the ads keep trying to chase me in my feed.
Remember that your value is not defined by any algorithm, Claire, and your choices are still yours to make.
That is a comforting way to end the night, and I am really grateful.
Anytime you feel that familiar unease when a strange ad appears, you can come back, sip your ginger ale, and we will sort the feeling out together.
I will take you up on that, and for tonight I think I am ready to call it a day.
Then let me clear the glass and wish you a calm walk home and a quiet mind.
Good night, boss, and thanks again for listening and explaining everything so kindly.
Good night, Claire. Take care of yourself out there.
It is getting pretty late, and I should probably head home soon, but I am suddenly realizing I cannot find my wallet. I must have left my wallet at home, which means I have no way to pay for this lovely ginger ale right now, and I honestly have no idea what to do. Since I managed to forget my wallet, I am going to be bold and ask you, the person sitting quietly next to me, if you would be willing to cover this ginger ale for me tonight. I actually know you have been listening in on our whole conversation this evening, and if any part of it was helpful or calming or interesting for you, I would really appreciate your help. All right. Thank you so much for saying yes in spirit, and if you would like to support this drink in future ones, you can use the QR code in the corner of the video or the link in the description to send a little tip. While you are there, please tap like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about what this talk made you think about, because that kind of support means a lot. You can also find links in the description that lead to other works in a completely different series, and you might enjoy exploring those on another night. Thank you again for keeping me company at the counter tonight, and I hope we can share another quiet ginger ale and another long conversation very soon. So for now I will say good night.